All right. Time to go. Didn't mean to do that. Ah, come on. Ah. Stupid Instagram. Ah! Ah. Oh. さあ、守さん。What am I doing? God, I can't believe how lucky that was. God. Assholes. Ah! Whatever, that was a shit time anyway. Shit fight. When a shit time is a shit fight. Oh. I'll be honest with you, like, I don't really think about this game very much when I'm not playing it. I don't know, look, I guess I'm so used to hearing stuff over and over again, it just doesn't really bother me. Ah, it's a shame I wasted that good start, though. Yeah, I'd imagine so after 30,000 hours. At that point, it's just part of your routine. Although, to be fair, I'm not really a big dreamer either. I'm not gonna say I don't dream, I just don't ever dream to the point where I remember it very often. I think part of this is I don't sleep long enough anymore. Usually wake up every 2 or 3 hours. Excellent. That sounds reasonable. Night terror is not something I have ever personally experienced, I don't believe. I mean, when I was like a young kid, like I remember watching, I think it was the CBS TV version of Stephen King's It. I remember watching that, and I think I had like nightmares that time. I woke up crying. That's about it. That's about all I can remember. I used to be a pretty, I don't know if you want to call it restless sleeper or whatever, but I used to roll around in my sleep a lot, like fell out of my bed a few times. When I was like elementary school age. Oh, that was nice. Much appreciated. Oh, stupid snake. That was not nice. Newport News. Ah. Like, I myself grew up in a, how shall we say this? A youth-infested area. Let's just put it that way. It wasn't like that when we moved there when I was like 3 years old. But over the years, by the time I graduated elementary school, the area had changed entirely because they'd put in large amounts of low-income housing, I guess is what they used to refer to it at the time. So by the time I graduated high school, 90%, over, probably more like 95% of my school was, let's say, not there to go to school. How about that? How did I deal with this? I just learned how to, one, kind of become invisible, and two, give off the air that, while I wasn't dangerous, I might be crazy. You know, it's kind of a weird, well, actually, never mind, I'm not going to say that. Let's just put it this way, like, I had the highest grades in the school and no one knew who I was. Except for my friends. And the other people in the one advanced class at the school. School 1,600 kids, like 400 in my grade, to be fair. Not 1,600 in my grade, 400 in my grade, and barely enough students to scrape together an advanced class. To be fair, like half the students in the advanced class didn't belong there. They just needed people in there to justify the position. My, what do you call it? Like, impact. They called it impact at the time. It's for the, you know, like the super gifted class or whatever. My first year there was only like 6 students, and then they added in like 2 or 3 just so the numbers looked a little bit better. It's kind of the same way for me, like, where we moved into, at the time was mostly forest, and then they started putting in the projects, so to speak, across the street from our neighborhood, and that's when everything kind of started to change. Ah, I messed it up. Makes sense. My dad just unfortunately chose the wrong area. I mean, it was pretty bad when I left But because it was like a week before I left, there was a big shooting event in the shopping mall next to my neighborhood. So it was only about 100 meters from my house, actually. So it's one of those strip malls, and there's a barber shop there. And I guess it was a hit or something. Either that or there's an argument over something. Who knows? With that kind of stuff, it's always stupid. But just so you can understand the kind of people that you're dealing with here, I think it was something in the neighborhood of 40 to 60 shots fired. Nobody injured. Oh, that's pretty interesting. Oh, come on. Oh, it's this bullshit. Oh, this. God. That's so stupid. Oh. Once an area gets bad enough, I mean, it really doesn't matter what the surrounding areas are like, because, and like, this is what I was going to mention before I got distracted by the game, but that area ended up getting so bad that like my mom was at a gas station, and then somebody came up to the car, and they came up to, like, she had her purse in the passenger's side seat, and while she's sitting in the car, somebody just opened up the passenger door, took her purse, and ran off into one of the project areas. And so, you know, they called the police, and they made the report, and the police were like, oh, yeah, basically you're not getting it back. And like, we have, because they knew where they went, but they're not going to go in there, because if they go in there, there's going to be a problem. Like, by the end, yeah, I mean, the project areas have become like a no-go zone for the police, and then eventually what happened was, for one reason or another, they caught fire and burned down. And that was it. They just condemned it, moved everybody out, and just kind of left it there. I think eventually somebody came in and bulldozed it, maybe did something with it, but... Mom ended up moving out of the house not too many years after that. I mean, by then, almost everyone we knew had left the neighborhood anyway for obvious reasons. Like, this is... like, speaking of officers getting shot, this will kind of give away where I'm from, but when I was young, it was a big national news story at the time, but the county sheriff got killed in an assassination that was done by, I want to say it was another government official and 2 other police officers. And I actually ended up doing a summer job with that guy's son while the trial was going on. And then the county commissioner at the time, too, I remember there's some kind of scandal with him where, like, some lady showed up on his lawn and there's, like, a big commotion over it. I can't remember. I want to say it's somewhere between, like, bribery and then also, like, I forget how it all tied up. All I remember is, like, when they did the court case, they had to move it all the way down to, like, South to the south of the state. To try to get, like a quote unquote unbiased jury. I think also they were just because of the nature of the crime, they were kind of worried about retaliation and things like that as well. How do you get shot? Like stab, beaten, metal pipes, that's kind of stuff that used to happen to people a long time ago, just if, spend a lot of time going out at night and things like that. Stabbed, maybe not that often, but, cut or something, maybe. Somebody pulled out a knife. Shots, pretty rare, though. I've never been shot at, let alone shot. At least as far as I know, anyway. Some of my friends got jumped on the way home from school, or like on the way home from, well, not even way home, just walking around somewhere. But yeah, getting shot is fairly rare. Just kind of thinking about it, like I wonder what the percentage of people who get shot are that end up dying. Because obviously, there's fatal gunshot wounds and non-fatal gunshot wounds. Just getting grazed by a bullet obviously isn't going to kill you in the vast majority of situations. I just wonder how often, like, when somebody does get shot, how often they die. I wonder what the percentage is on that. Did you both live? Well, obviously you did. Part of the reason I never went out very much when I was a kid is I just didn't want to deal with any of the trouble that was around. Now, I was also more naturally inclined to not to go out in the first place, but less time you spent out, less time it was likely something was going to happen. Yeah, that's a long time ago, but I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, I imagine if you're getting shot 3 times, you probably, you'd have to be lucky to survive, I would imagine. How bad did you get hit in the leg? Why didn't you turn? Press the left button. The bullets are pretty hot when they go through, I think. I don't know. Like, I've obviously never been shot myself. Maybe they kind of partially cauterized the wound or something. Does it still hurt now? Or is it mostly heal up? I mean, honest with you, like getting shot in the leg, you're kind of lucky that you made it out okay. Like, you hit a major artery in your leg and you're going to bleed out. So I'm guessing if you got 2 holes, that means the bullet passed through too, which is in a lot of ways lucky. Let's start. Let's do that again. Were you still playing sports at the time? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Just the impact from getting hit, the vibrations or shockwave or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I'd imagine that probably would make your bone hurt. Do you know what you were shot with? Was it a pistol or a rifle? Oh, come on. We're doom looping. $9mm. So probably a pistol. Not a guarantee, but the pistol caliber anyway. They ever catch the guys, or? I'd imagine usually if somebody dies, they make a pretty good effort to catch whoever did it. Either way, man, sorry to hear something like that happened to you. It's a shame because, you know, things don't have to be like that. I just kind of wonder what's going to happen. I mean, it's obvious the status quo is not going to hold up, is it? Are people finally going to decide that they want to do something about problems like that, or we just going to let everything fall apart? And, you know, letting everything fall apart is certainly on the table. I mean, just look at what happened in Spain the last couple days. Yeah, like, I mean, back then it was a lot harder to find people specifically for what you're saying there. Like, it was just, unless somebody knew who did it, or you had, like, you know, some way to, you know, tie a license plate to it or something like that, it was kind of hard. And even if you did have cameras back then, the quality was so garbage. It's legit crazy to go back and watch like an old VHS and see just how blurry and messy the visuals were back then. Like, I watched, like, not too long ago, I was watching some old clips of like basketball games from the 90s and stuff, and you know, you didn't feel it at the time, but man, those images were just really muddy. Like, it's so much easier to see people's faces now and the numbers on the backs of jerseys and everything. Oh, come on. Yeah, my brother was a basketball player, and so like sometimes he would go out to places with his friends and play, and like he told me about one time they were out somewhere and then, you know, they ended up having to run away because probably somebody was about to go get a gun and come back. But oh god damn it. Come on, game. You're being ridiculous today. But, you know, because of my brother, I played basketball some with my friends too, and like, I just never... Part of the reason I didn't like doing that is every now and then, like, the wrong people would show up, and I didn't like dealing with them. Because, like, with that kind of person, you can't reason with that kind of person. They're going to do whatever they want to do, and you got to be ready to deal with it. But because of the way society is, you can't really deal with a person like that the way you need to deal with them. But the truth is, if society worked properly, like, that kind of person wouldn't be out in society at all. But for whatever reason, everybody's just decided that we have to tolerate the 40 IQ idiots that wander around to make everything bad for everyone else. When you're dealing with the kind of person to who, quote unquote, respect is everything, disrespecting other people is how you get your leg up in some ways. Well, of course, then when respect is everything, if you disrespect the wrong person, well, you know what happens sometimes. Hold on a second, I'll be back. Need to grab something to drink. All right. Let's take a little swig up Listerine there and try to numb down the sore on the bottom of my tongue. It's not really the talking that's bothering me, it's just the... I guess this one's kind of in a bad place because it doesn't really matter where I put my tongue. It's kind of hitting up against something. So it's just kind of like a dull numbing pain. Not really much I can do about it, other than numb it up. Oh, I know why they did. Because again, it's a respect thing. Like that kind of, I mean, that kind of behavior, if we're going to look at it, if you're going to analyze what it is, it's basically trying to set a hierarchy. Like the people that do that kind of stuff in a lot of cases are doing it to see what they can get away with, and whether we want to put it in more colloquial terms, to see whether you're a bitch or not. Is what a lot of that is. If somebody's going to sit there and let you do it, that means you can do whatever you want to them. That's a dangerous game they're playing, though, because the one time you run into somebody that isn't a bitch, you just better hope that they're not a violent, crazy person. Because if you run into somebody that one isn't a bitch, two is violent, they're gonna, you pull that shit, you're gonna end up dead. Maybe. But yeah, I still remember my brother when they were playing ball out somewhere, and then I was talking about this before, like they had to run, and they ended up running off, and then one of my brother's friends that was with him when they were playing, he's like, because, you know, my brother didn't really go to places like that to play very often, but like, you know, they'd invite him there, so he went, and afterwards the guy, you know, turned him after, you know, they kind of got into, you know, out of the danger zone, so to speak, and turned him and said, like, motherfucker, when a black man tells you to run, you run. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, part of the reason I didn't like playing ball either is, like, with that kind of, like, with the wrong kind of people playing ball, like, they will do dirty stuff to you just because they don't like you. Because maybe you're playing better than they are. Maybe they're losing. You know, like, you go up to get a rebound, like, they come up and try to, you know, cut your legs out from under you. They put their foot under you when you land below. You know, that kind of bullshit. I was like, I just hated... It's part of the reason I just hated playing pickup basketball. At least if you're doing it indoors, you know, like it's a hardwood floor, so if you're falling down, it's not quite as bad. But like out in the concrete, man, I didn't want to put up with that kind of bullshit. See, like, that's all well and good, but the problem with that is a person like that might come back later. And you know what I mean? Like, they might come back with friends, or they might come back with a weapon. Like, you just never know with that kind of bullshit. That's why I just didn't even want to be around it. It's just not worth putting up with. Because that's how respect culture works. You know, if you get disrespected, you got to do something about it. Otherwise, you're a bitch. Ah, man, once it gets to that point, though, like, most people aren't thinking clearly anyway. That's the thing, is like, you can't expect, like, you know, 60 IQ people to make a logical decision in a situation like that. They're not thinking about, you know, a day from now, a week from now, a month from now. They're thinking about what just happened, how they feel, and that's about as far as the thinking goes. Like, that's the other thing you gotta kind of consider. Like, for some of the people like that, would they rather be a bitch or die? Well, some of them choose to die. What are you gonna do then? And like, that might be a hard thing to understand, but like, the thing is, like, regardless of whether you personally understand it or not, there's people that will make that decision. Exactly. You know, something I never really thought about that much, but, you know, I've been seeing a lot of, like, the body cam footage lately. I'm pretty sure cops could make a comeback now if it wanted to, but anyway, like, I forget just how often, like, the kind of people that we're talking about get drunk. You know, like, I don't really have that image, but like, in so many of the videos, they're under the influence of something, you know? Which is part of the reason they make such bad decisions that end up, you know, being posted on the internet. You know, like, I'm not a big drinker, but, you know, I drink every now and then, but, like, I'm conscious enough to know that when I am drunk and not drunk, what I am willing to say is very different. I guess it's kind of interesting to watch how, like, alcohol causes people to behave. You know, like, some people get really kind of, you know, touchy-feely or friendly. Some people get just real sleepy. Some people get violent. There's one guy I knew that was like that. I think he's like aggressive violent. It's just the... You know, in the normal circumstances where he just, you know, kind of laugh it off or something, like all of a sudden he'd come after you. Yeah, I just can't imagine drinking every day. I mean, well, I can sort of imagine it. I just can't ever imagine wanting to do it. I mean, there's a guy I knew, well, there's plenty of guys over here I know like this actually, but literally has alcohol in them probably all day, every day. I mean, they don't really look drunk or anything like that, but they've kind of got like a permanent buzz, you know? Yeah, like I understand why some people drink now. Alcohol helps you forget certain things. Sometimes it's easier to get by when you don't remember stuff. Yep, there are definitely like people like that in high school and college. I haven't really known anyone like that since I've gotten older. Well, not the high part anyway. That's mostly because I'm in a country where drugs are not really tolerated at all. It's kind of weird to see one of the kids that I knew from high school that was, you know, in high school he was a really successful athlete. He was fairly smart. He ended up getting a good job at a Fortune 500 company. But when I met him the next time, like after I graduated from college, so it's about 4 years later, it seemed entirely like he had fried his brain on marijuana. Like everything about him felt slower. Now, to be fair, he was probably high at the time I saw him, but he was clearly not the same person he was when I knew him in high school. It's like, I've got mixed feelings about marijuana. Like, my feelings about it are, like, I don't think people should really use it. I get why some people do. Like, I kind of look at it the same way I look at alcohol. It's not really, I don't really think it's probably good for you long term. I wouldn't recommend doing it. Not going to do it myself. But, I mean, I guess if alcohol is going to be legal, why can't marijuana is a pretty solid argument. I'm not going to say it's bulletproof or anything like that, but... Yeah, like, I've always felt alcohol, it's not really the buzz or anything, I think, that people use it to, you know, self-medicate. I think it's more just like the fact that it kind of dulls your memories. Most of the other effects of alcohol aren't really that great. Like, I always felt that, you know, it's obviously it reduces inhibition. So, like, I've always kind of looked at it as a personality multiplier in a lot of ways. Like, it'll take a personality trait and it'll exacerbate it because you don't have any of the normal inhibitions that you would have in a non-drunk state to kind of hold it back. That was why I was, like, personally, I was kind of happy to learn that I wasn't violent when I got drunk. Seems like a weird thing to say, but... That always kind of worried me because, you know, don't want to get, like, drunk and then, like, hit someone you care about, you know? What the hell was that? I don't know, and that way maybe alcohol can teach you a lot about yourself. Yeah, that whole inhibitions thing. Four. Could have been a 3. Yeah, it's a pretty good one there. It's a shame I couldn't get the 3 cycle, but I'll take a 4. That's the other thing too, like, there are genuine psychopaths out there, like people who just really don't care. You gotta watch out for those people. One nice thing about psychopaths is they don't tend to stick around very long. Usually because before long they make the situation untenable for themselves. Boom. Seems kind of harsh to say, but, you know, sometimes you got to understand when, you know, you just got to let people go. I mean, that may sound harsh sometimes, but, you know, even the Bible doesn't sit there and pretend like you can save everyone. Oh, should have walked a couple more steps. That's my fault. I need that angle as possible. I don't know if you, like, I've talked about Bill Simmons a couple of times, but like one of the things he wrote and he's talking about basketball teams, but I think it's a pretty good rule for life too. It's the 2 knucklehead rule. And the idea is that in a group, you can deal with like 1 knucklehead. You can deal with like, you know, 1 guy that's kind of out there. If you put 2 of them together though, it becomes a problem because they might hang out. And then, you know, like that kind of thing's a force multiplier. Like I look at it almost like gravity in a lot of ways. Like, if you think of people and their personalities as like celestial bodies, you want to make sure that within a group, the gravity is pulling towards the good end and not the bad. Because with most people, they don't have their own gravitational pull, so to speak. I maybe shouldn't say most, but a lot of people don't have their own gravitational pull, which is to say that they will acquiesce to what the people around them are doing. So, you know, if you want to have like 1 knucklehead friend in your group, it's okay. But once you got 2, you probably better watch out, because the odds of something bad happening go up exponentially at that point. Wow. I've always found that to kind of be a pretty good rule. Like, the same works for, like, classes as well. Like, in a class, you can kind of put up with, like, you know, 1 troublemaker. You get 2, though. And they start to team up, and then you're really in trouble. Why did I do that? Rare jar kill. Oh Lord, let this fight go well. I'm begging, please. I got a chance for a really nice time here. Oh man, that's nice. Oh, you! Ah. Like, I had a similar thing happen to me my senior year. Like, I was sitting next to my friend in psych class. I really, like, me and him really got along well. And, like, this guy was really funny. And the teacher called me to his desk, like, one morning before class. And he said to me, he's like, look, I'm going to have to, like, move you to another part of the class. Like, I can't let you 2 sit together. It's like, you're doing fine. But the thing is, like, whenever he sits next to you, he spends the whole class trying to entertain you. And make you laugh. So I was like, and so, you know, like, if he's your friend, like, you probably should sit somewhere else. I was like, all right, I understand. Because he's right. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, no, no, no. I was going to run into the side of the tree there. All right. I've got a nice lead here. Can I do something with it? To be fair, I was probably a little bit better behaved than that. Oh, okay. That jerk. Oh. My high school years were blurred. I dropped out of 11th grade year. I wasn't going to graduate when I got my 12th grade anyway. I was still taking 9th, 10th grade classes, 11th grade. I was never there for one, and when I was running a business. I wasn't there to learn. Did you ever go back and finish up or get your DED or anything? Not going to ask too many questions about what that business was. I mean... Come on, man. Don't do this. 4. Okay, so you ended up finishing. What was that like? Was it hard? Did it take much time? I mean, there are a lot of people that dropped out when I was out of school. I wanted to say that maybe only like 80% of my class made it from freshman to senior year. Which isn't the worst numbers in the world, sadly, but I mean, it's not that good either.まあ、とにかく最近アガルムは私にあんまり優しくしてくれない。その分散する弾は2回か1回ぐらい撃ってくれれば助かるけど、でもいつも4回、6回、7回とか最近。I didn't even notice. Rock! How did I not notice that? I forgot to look. The thing is, like, I probably could have killed something and gotten the rupees. I just forgot to check. 確認するの忘れました。Okay, for anyone watching who doesn't know, from the start of the game until you get to that door, like, the 2 jars in the Ganem's Tower are going to give you, you know where the knight is in the middle of the room and they have the key, the red knight? The 2 jars there will give you 6 rupees. You pick up 100 rupees in the 2 treasure chests after the Eastern Palace. That means you need 4 rupees at any point between the start of the game and when you get to that door. I got 2. So I was too short. And I usually check. Because it's really not that common for this to happen. Because usually just on accident you'll get like a 5 rupee or, you know, you get 4 rupees somewhere. Because, like, I've been there with, like, 160 rupees before. Oh, that's a suck-ass way to lose that run. Taった4ルピーどっかに拾えばそうならんですけど。What time is it? 8 o'clock. Alright, I guess we give it one more go. Alright. Give me 30 seconds. Oh. Sorry, I needed to swig that Listerine again. Kind of numb up that sore. Alright, let's go. I'm actually playing fairly well today. Just haven't been very lucky. I should have just been paying more attention there. All I had to do was kill one of those enemies. And the thing is, like, I actually probably didn't even need to reset, but I'd have lost already 30 seconds there. That was going to bug me. Regardless of how the rest of the run went. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. In other news, my sum of death segments is almost under 154. Alright, man. Thanks for stopping in. Have a good one. That works. What just happened there with that key knife is the quote-unquote best way to do it. Like, I usually come in from the side and stab him, but if you can hit him from the top like that, just everything... Oh, what am I doing? Everything kind of works out better. Oh, come on. 6. That's weird. It's almost like the... What? It's almost like the times that's clinking actually are counting as hits. Oh, no, it's fine. Very, very interesting to hear. Sorry to hear about a lot of it. Shame things, yeah. Things have to be that way. It's a shame we just kind of put up with things being that way. Honestly, it's like, I say have to be that way. They don't have to be that way. They really don't. Oh, this time sucks. I'm tired of resetting. We're just gonna keep going. Hopefully the sewers will make up for it. If the sewers are too bad, I'll reset. Of course, then with the way today's going, I may just die down there. It's already happened once. It's the first time I died in sewers in a long time. Man, just things that did not work out on that one. Usually down the next set of... Oh. Yeah. I am going to die. Yep. Yeah, man, 3 is crazy, man. Like, most people don't even lose 1. And from the way you talk about it, it sounds like it's 3 separate incidents, too, which is even crazier. You know, like, you know, maybe, you know, somebody gets into a car crash and, you know, 3 of your friends die or something like that, but, like, 3 from 3 separate incidents is not something that happens to most people. Obviously. Thank God. Of course, then I say that, and I guess I should qualify in the U.S. I guess depending on what part of the world you grow up in, that may be a very different, very different situation. Yeah. Oh, come on. What happened there? Oh. It had to have only been like a pixel off. Come on. Oh, I just want to get one good run in here. I want to dig holes today. Yeah, it sucks watching someone die. Like, I've never seen anyone killed in that sense, but I did watch. Oh, come on! I did watch my dad die though when it happened. I still think about that a lot. Because like when my dad died, like he had a heart, yeah, his heart stopped while he was sleeping, more or less. And my mom kind of heard it happen because like his breathing had gotten weird before it, like, you know, right before it stopped. So like she woke up in the middle of the night and then that woke me up. So like I was the one who made the 911 call and then tried to do, what do you call it, CPR or whatever on him. And, you know, he obviously didn't make it. So, like, you know, I think about that a lot. I think about, you know, did I mess up the CPR or should I have done something differently? Because the thing is, like, when my dad died, it wasn't like it was completely without warning. And it's not that we expected him to die or anything like that, obviously not, but I mean, when we would do yard work on the weekends sometimes, like, you know, he'd complain about chest pains or every now and then, and he'd been going to the doctor and like they'd given him medicine for it, but I guess it just kindly caught up with him. But you know, I think about that a lot, so I can only imagine what it's like if, you know, you see someone actually just get killed in front of you, you know? Yeah, I mean, it happens. I mean, the thing is, like, my dad wasn't in shape. He was a little bit over 100 kilograms when he died at 5'10". So, I mean, that puts you in the obese category, not like severely obese or anything. You know, like by today's standards, he's like the average American. But so again, it wasn't like it was, you know, totally unexpected or anything like that, but certainly wasn't expecting it to happen. Certainly we weren't ready for it to happen in any way. Can't believe I missed that. Yeah, that happened just like a couple of months before I was scheduled to move over where I am now. Move over to Japan. So I was out of college at the time and just kind of waiting until that time because, well, it didn't make much sense to get my own place and then, you know, just leave. Yeah. It's kind of awkward because, you know, my dad was like 60 when he died, but the thing is, like, my grandmother was still alive at the time. She was, let's see, how old was she? She was 95 at the time. But by then, like, she had hurt herself from falling down many years before that, and like her mind was starting to go a little bit because, like, when she fell down, she messed up her shoulder, and so she couldn't take care of herself entirely by herself anymore after that. And just an FYI for anyone listening, like, if you get older and you don't want your mind to go, make sure that you don't, like, get inactive. Like, you need to do stuff for yourself as much as you possibly can. Keep your mind occupied, busy. Keep your body moving. It's like she was perfectly fine until that happened. And then once that happened, that's when it started. But yeah, like, I remember, like, we were sitting at the gravesite for the, you know, the interment at the end, and I was sitting next to my grandmother, and I remember she asked me a couple of times, like, is that my son in there? Because she couldn't remember. And, like, one of my cousins was kind of taking care of her at the time, and, you know, I still went back to America, you know, once or twice a year back then, and I'd talk to him, and he'd tell me about talking with her, and, you know, like, sometimes it'd be like, you know, when she was a young kid, and then sometimes she would ask about, you know, my dad, and, like, he'd have to tell her that he died. And, like, for her, it'd be like the first time she heard it every time. She ended up passing on about 2 years after that. Like, she was 97 when she finally passed. Never met my grandfather on my dad's side of the family. He was actually born in the 1800s. As hard as that may sound to believe. I started exercising about a year ago because I felt that I had gained too much weight. I was like 80 kilograms at the time. Somewhere between 80 and 85. Everything feels a lot better now that I've gotten down to the mid-60s. Just like, and the thing is, like, I don't run, okay? But just like doing push-ups, sit-ups, and squats every day for a year has greatly improved my physical well-being. And just like stretching too, honestly. Like, there's a guy that I worked with, this Australian guy who's a little bit older than me, and he told me, like, he'd had all kinds of problems with his health and stuff like that, and then he started doing yoga. And he said ever since he started doing that, like, he just felt better, like, everything just felt better. Like, he didn't have a lot of the problems he used to have. anymore at all. And like, I'll say like when I've kind of gotten away from it the last month or so, but when I was spending time doing stretching every day, like a lot of the like neck and back pains that I used to have a lot kind of went away. Yeah, 97 is pretty long. Like most of the people in her family lived a long time. Like one of her sisters died real young in like her dress caught fire from the fireplace when she was, I forget, maybe like 10 years old or something like that. But I think she had, is either 9, she was like, one of 10 siblings. And I think all of them lived to over 80 other than that one. A lot of them lived into their 90s, or 1 or 2 of them lived to be over 100. Oh, it's sloppy here. Oh. Yeah, I need to recalibrate it. Okay. I guess the neck angle. Like if I do this, that'll probably fix it. That'll probably fix it. Like, depending on what game I'm streaming or what system I'm using. What? I'll be looking at different places or sitting in different places and I need to recalibrate the camera every time. Sometimes I forget. Oh, come on. Yep. Oh, God. Yes, one of the little quirks of V-Bridger. Like, I'm not really sure why it does it, because you can actually, like, turn your head like 90 degrees in that thing, and it doesn't do that, but, like, something about the setup that I've got makes it do that sometimes. Oh. It's bad though, because you know one of these they might actually have a seizure and nobody's gonna know. You're just gonna think the thing's malfunctioning and my mic's muted. To be fair, though, I've never had a seizure as far as I know. So not a serious concern, obviously. Oh. Got too greedy. This is true. To be fair, it does map pretty, like the motion mapping is pretty good. It's just I had to limit the range of motion, like in terms of turning things, just because like the more it can turn, like the more I have to do the rigging the animation. It's a lot of work to make it look good or even passable. So I had to kind of restrict the area of motion. If it doesn't pick up on me moving after a couple minutes, it's supposed to go into a sleep animation. But I think lately I haven't been doing that. I don't know why. I did not pick that up. All right. A lot slower than I was hoping, but whatever. Come on. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Seriously? It's almost... Oh. This is so ass. I keep going though. Yeah, if like I'm not sitting in the chair, like it can still pick up like background movement. So it doesn't have too long of a range, like anything over a meter, you're starting to push it, but it can still pick stuff up though. Oh, come on. Yeah, I'm usually like in the palace by now, or Harris Tower by now. Oh, this time is terrible. Ah. What? Not my day today. That's a shame. Biggest shame is that I was short rupees on that one run that made it to the Dark World. That one could have gone somewhere. At least I got a gold split today, though. Means I'm improving. Seriously though, like, since I got the PB, my sum of best segments has come down by over a minute, I think. So... like, everything's in place. I just gotta put the run together. I just haven't been able to put the run together. Like, either the RNG doesn't work out or I do something stupid. One of the two. I just need both of those things to not happen at the same time. And then I should get a good run, but it's just not working right now. Alright, but yeah. That'll be enough for this for today. I'll give it another go tomorrow. A little bit unfortunate that and how that ended, but that last run was garbage though. Not too disappointing about that one. Is the ones before that are disappointing. Alright, but I'll give this another go tomorrow around the same time. Might start a little bit earlier just so I can try to give myself more opportunities to get a good run in, but stream eugenics from about 9:30, so about an hour from now. Today, like, we finished Act 2 on Crazy yesterday, and then I did the what do you call it? The C800 fight, so the Act 3 House Boss number 1. I finished that one on hard yesterday, so we got the C1000 showing up in a couple of days, so I'll probably do that fight today. But today is going to be sending the cats out just to pick up items. Like I've kind of burned through a lot of items the last few days. So I need to replenish a little bit, get my stock up. So I can prepare for the Act 3 run on Crazy. And then once we do that and finish up the house bosses, then it's going to be on to Impossible. I have to do I have to do Guillotine 1 through 3 on Crazy before I can open up Impossible difficulty, but getting closer. I'll be honest, like Crazy hasn't been as bad as I thought it would. I'm a little bit worried about Impossible though. Oh, thanks for stopping in, man. Appreciate the chat. You have a good one, man. But anyway, that's what I'm going to be doing later on, so if you want to watch that, by all means. Otherwise, hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Or see you next time. So, you guys have a good day or evening. Thanks as always. If you enjoyed it, like, subscribe, follow.